Have you ever wondered what kind of PC Iron Man would use to monitor his mini Iron Men? Now, this specific order was for a drone surveillance system where a batch of 20 to 30 drones work in sync to monitor stuff. It does sound a bit dystopian, but it can be essential and sometimes very much so. For example, near border areas, you actually need to have constant monitoring. For example, near flood affected areas, you need to see what's happening. In some cases, this helps even in surveying. Let's just assume there are 20 drones in this batch and they're sending 20 different video streams, streaming it down to base station. But collectively, these drone systems are sending 1 GB per second of data in packets of 1 kilobyte. Now imagine that being processed on a single computer. That's where this PC comes in. But before that, let's talk data transfer 101. So you send a file over a network, it gets broken down into packets, smaller chunks. On most standard networks, the chunk size is 1500 bytes or 1.5 kilobytes. But in this case, 1 kilobyte is slightly smaller than the standard 1.5 kilobyte. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Now, to transfer about 1 GB of data per second, it has a million packets streaming down. So you need at least a couple of cores extra to process the data. Plus, they're doing this for 6 hours straight. So in about a single session, you're looking at 26 terabyte worth of data. Wow. And do keep in mind, the system can't lag or crash during the receiving of this data. So now suddenly this is mission critical, isn't it? So normally for use cases like this, you would straight away recommend a server which would cost around 20 lakhs, but there was just a tiny hiccup here. And the tiny hiccup was budget utna tha nahi, if I remember this correctly. Correct? Wohi tha tiny hiccup. Uske aadhe budget mein karna tha. They even asked for specs like Ultra 9 and 4 TB drives. But this isn't feasible. Ultra 9 is a high-end but still consumer grade. And the motherboards that Ultra 9 supports, let's just say they won't have the bandwidth for that kind of speed that they need. So we gotta think out of the box over here. Now the final solution, we had to tackle this step by step. Number one, we found an NVMe enclosure which houses 4 SSDs. Next, to compensate for the bandwidth, we changed the platform to Threadripper. Yeah, Threadripper is awesome. Especially the PC aliens and the bandwidth, it's killer. Now we managed to cut costs on the GPU because not a lot of GPU work was going to be done and we just restricted it to 710. Next up, we included ECC memory because hey, this is as mission critical as it gets. Lastly, but definitely not the least, we had a 10 GB NIC card. चाहिए वो उतना जब data आ रहा है उसको out करने के लिए भी चाहिए. Now these are the rest of the specs on the screen. I'll not bore you with saying that out loud one by one. So we conducted a test remotely to ensure that we are getting the speeds on read and write, and we met the client requirement, and we made sure that the 10 GB NIC would actually egress. Ingress का opposite egress होता है ना. Next, we set up the system to test in chunks of 1 kilobytes following rates of 5 Gbps, 6 Gbps, 7 Gbps and up to 10 Gbps, and also stored the data on the workstation SSD in real time without any data loss. Mission accomplished. So yeah, final configuration we achieved was 15 GB per second, reliably recorded data over 24 hours, far exceeding the 6-hour requirement. And the project was done in a budget of less than 10 lakhs. ये थोड़ा पुराना किस्सा है, आजकल के SSD के प्राइस में ये नहीं हो पाएगा because 1.4 TB costs so much more now. So yeah, ये थोड़ा पुराना कहानी है. So there you have it. Even though it may seem like most PCs are bought for editing and VFX and gaming, actually largely PCs are not bought for those use cases, even though they're the most common that we come across every day. So if you enjoy videos like this, with the help of our team, we're actually trying to make more and more of these videos. We did slightly offbeat solutions for very much practical problems that companies face. So yeah, we're thinking of starting a series. Do let us know if you like and enjoy such videos. Until next time, peace.